G'day everyone, and thanks for joining me again on the second episode of the Lotus Exige S. So we've been pretty busy doing a lot of things on the car recently. So what we're going to do today is just something really simple, which is changing the air filter and also removing the snorkel in the air intake, which is a pretty common mod. Apparently it helps with induction noise. It gives you a bit more induction noise if you want that, and also less debris in the air filter, hopefully. So I'll give you a bit of a tour around what's happening with the car, and then we'll get straight into it and start changing the air filter. Alright, so let's start from the back of the car, and as you may notice, we have got it jacked up with the wheels off, and also the hubs disconnected from the drive shafts. And the brake discs off now as well. And so what's happening is I found a little bit of a tear in the CV boot on this side. So I'll show you that real quick. There's a little bit of a tear. You can see the grease there. And so we're going to change the CV boots on both sides to the BOE Tough boots from the US. So I've already got that. It's here. I'm just waiting for the gearbox fluid before I take off the drive shafts. And I'm also going to be replacing the gearbox fluid with Redline MT90, which is what's recommended. I'm hoping that's going to really help with the shift feel when the car is cold, because at the moment it is a little bit notchy, so it's not brilliant. So hopefully that will help with that as well. I'm also changing the brakes on the front and the rear. The rear brakes, it's actually not too bad. I've still got quite a bit of meat left, as you can see. But the brake pads are not brilliant. I think the rears are OEM Brembo pads, and the front it's almost completely worn down to the metal. So I definitely need to address that pretty soon. Over here as well, I've been doing a lot of things on the interior. I've got the driver's seat out. I noticed that the rail was actually bent, so the driver's seat wasn't really moving forward and back properly. And I've just started tidying up the interior a lot more. There's a few things that I've got on order, like bits of interior trim like that, that has been broken in the past. The little tab is broken, so that needs to be replaced. And I've also got a gated shifter coming. So it's just the trim that allows you to have a gated shifter here, and it's pretty cheap. It's from Greg's Race Parts, and so that's going to be installed soon as well. In terms of the engine, there's not much happening here at the moment. I've just got the boot cover off just to make it easy to access everything, but there's not much in terms of work being done here at the moment. And if we move across to this wheel well, you'll see that this is going to be the area that we're working in. So this is the airbox there. This is the snorkel that I'm talking about. A lot of people have removed this already. Mine's still got it, so that's probably something that is a good little mod for us to do together. And I've got a new air filter as well, which I'll show you soon. Cool, so let's get the job going. So here is my new filter, which is looking really nice. And this is going to be the area that we are working in on the left hand side of the engine. You can just see that there's a screw right there to remove the snorkel. So that is going to be the very first thing that we do. We're going to undo that screw and just basically pull the snorkel out. I think that's the only thing that's holding the snorkel in. Alright, sorry, it's a little bit hard to see back here, but in the end I tried to unscrew it, but it wasn't really coming at all. So in the end I just used some trim tools and a little screwdriver and just kind of pried the inside of the screw out. It's just plastic, so it's not a major, and then that's how you can get it loose, and then hopefully we can just get the snorkel out. So there's the little plastic trim clip there. So once you get the center out, this will just come straight out. It's actually pretty bendy. Cool. So in theory, now we can just pull the snorkel out. That's the theory, at least. Hold on, let's do a wide angle shot. Just got to wiggle, apparently. Mine's pretty stuck in there. Alright, might need both hands for this. Okay, well, I was wiggling and wiggling and it wasn't coming out, and now I can see why. because there's actually another plastic trim bolt in there. So yeah, so I was wiggling and wiggling and it wasn't coming out, and as you can see, that's probably why, because I need to remove that plastic clip as well. So there's actually 2 plastic clips, and then hopefully that will just come out. Alright, yeah, so after I removed the other clip, the snorkel just came out really easy. It looks pretty restrictive, to be honest, so I'm pretty happy I'm getting rid of this. Apparently it really doesn't do anything apart from potentially sucking up more leaves into the intake. I'm still going to keep it though, just in case someone does want it down the line. I'll put it in the box of my Lotus bits. But yeah, for now I think I'm pretty glad to get rid of this. It's also a bit of weight saving as well, which is always important on these cars too. Awesome, so now we're going to start replacing the filter. So I'm pretty sure the airbox only has these 2 clips down the top and bottom, but I'm not 100% sure, but it looks like it hinges at the back there. So I'm just going to try and unclip these. You just use your hands to unclip these like that. This top one's already unclipped, and then you should be able to see the filter at least. Now my one's very, very dirty. I'm probably guessing that it's the original filter, because mine hasn't even done that many kilometers, but it's very dirty, so I'm going to change it out. Okay, so it's not as dirty as I thought it was going to be, which is good. So it's not too bad, but I think I'm going to change it anyway. But I will probably just keep this one as a spare, just in case, for whatever reason, or maybe someone in the club locally wants it. Yeah, although these filters are pretty cheap anyway. So the other thing that I like to do when I replace these air filters is to try and clean the MAF. So you can just see the MAF just there at the moment. And I would like to get all of this out so that I can give the MAF a good clean and make sure that it's okay as well, because that is something that does need attention. Cool. So I think in order to remove the MAF, I think I just need to undo this hose clamp here so that I can remove it from the intake pipe here, and then I think I'll just undo these 2 screws here so that I can get whatever this is out of the way. I don't even know what that is, but yeah, let me know what you think that is, and then hopefully we can just slide the whole front bit of the airbox out, the bit that swivels and pivots. Alright, just removing these 2 screws. These are not very tight, luckily. I don't think these have ever been removed before, to be honest. I doubt anyone's ever cleaned the MAF before. Alright, there we go, so that just pops out. And then I just need to undo this hose clamp here as well. Down there. You can just see it. Camera. Sorry. One of these days I'm gonna make enough money off YouTube so that I can hire a camera person. There we go. Oh, that's pretty tight. I might need to use a socket for that instead of trying to do it that way. Right, so it's just a 10mm socket. I'm just gonna try and turn this. Nope, not happening. Okay. This may or may not work. I might need both hands for this. Okay, hold on. Did work. Just loosening up the hose clamp now. And then we should be able to get this part of the intake out. Oh, I probably should unplug the MAF as well before you take it out. Alright, it's pretty hard to unplug the MAF in situ, so what I've done is I've actually just unscrewed the MAF while it's in place, and there's just enough room just beside the coolant overflow bottle to get a screwdriver in there and to undo the 2 screws to get the MAF out. Awesome, alright, so we finally got the MAF unplugged and out of the car. The air filter housing is out of the car as well. I think there is a TRD air filter mod that you can do, which obviously I'm not doing because I don't think it's probably necessary, to be honest. I think once you remove the snorkel, it should pretty much free up the airflow anyway. I definitely recommend buying some proper airflow meter cleaner. this stuff will evaporate and it will not clog up your airflow meter. And my one looks like it's in pretty good condition. It's just a little bit dirty on the outside there. I think on the inside it actually looks alright. Doesn't look too bad at all, but obviously while we're here, might as well give it a clean. Right, so set up the spray bottle with the nozzle on it, and then just go wild really. You know, just give it a really good clean everywhere. Make sure you get all the gunk off. Flip it over and clean it some more. Yep, get in there really, really well. Give it a clean. Awesome, and then we can put everything back together. Alright, so a bit of a sit rep. I'm really struggling to get this top clip done in for the air filter housing. And I think it's because it is a little bit tight and it's really hard to get this seated all the way in. So what I've done is I've removed the intercooler piping. If you don't have an intercooler, then you won't really have to worry about that, but it's pretty straightforward to do. It's just these two clamps there, and then it just pulls right out in situ. So I'm going to try and get this on with the intercooler off, the intercooler piping off, and then hopefully we can do it all up. Yep, the MAF is installed. I just need to put this thing back on once I get it clipped up, and there's also a air hose or vacuum hose or something right at the back of the airbox, so make sure you connect that when you do put it all back together again. Alright everyone, and it is just starting to rain here, and guess what? Good news, apart from the rain, is that the job is all done. So I've got everything back together now, everything's plugged in. I will start the car and double check everything as well and make sure it starts properly. But yeah, the air filter is in there, the new one. I've saved the old one as well for a rainy day. And now look at the amount of space that we have at the back here as well, which is really awesome too. So now we've got a clean MAF, a clean air filter, and lots of extra space here. My plan is actually to purchase the supplementary cooling kit for the intercooler, along with the carbon intercooler shroud, and an upgraded intercooler at the same time from probably from Greg's Racing Parts, and that will actually feed through these side pods here, and then come up there into the intercooler shroud. So having a lot more space back here actually means that the install should be a lot easier as well. So we'll see how that goes. I'll make a video for that as well in the future. But yeah, thanks for joining us today on this Lotus Exige journey. There's going to be a lot more content coming. There's a lot of things to do. There's a lot of mods for this car as well, which I'm really excited about. So that's a bit of a difference between the videos that I've had before versus this project, is that, you know, I can actually do a few mods on this project. And I've also got the other cars at the moment as well. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to have all of these cars and working on these cars at the same time. I'm very lucky actually that I managed to get this car, and I've been really enjoying tidying it up and getting it all ready to go. I'm really excited to drive it again. Hopefully I can do that soon. But yeah, look out for the next video. I will see you guys later.